What happens when the soundtrack of a generation stops reflecting truth and starts enforcing limits? Today, I revisit a piece I wrote back in 2017, one that still echoes louder than ever. This is To Mold or to Fold, a reflection on the evolution of hip hop, media manipulation, and the silent war on ambition. Welcome to Echoes from the Silence. So, what's considered as good music today? Some may say that this is a subjective point of view. As a child of the 1980s, I have found that my taste in music is drastically different from most born after 1999. Back in my day, there was NWA, Grandmaster Flash, Run DMC, LL Cool J. Then later in my teen years, it was Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, The Lox, Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakur, KRS-One, DMX. Shall I go on? As I got older, music changed. The topics discussed were basically the same, but the overall content has been deviated to an inexplicable underestimation of the intelligence of young America. So, what is this content I speak of? Well, let's examine what hip hop consists of today in the socially accepted world. Hip hop was always identified by fashion, sex, drugs, politics, and the struggles low income families faced and the past people of these cultures chose to overcome those struggles. Who could forget how they got money for wars but couldn't feed the poor? Or the acronym for nigga, never ignorant getting goals accomplished. Many of us were raised on these ideologies, and they immensely influence our everyday lives. Well, that hasn't changed today. Now, instead of the Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakurs, and KRS-Ones to influence society, we are left with the mindless gibberish from artists like Little Yachty and Designer.
Panda, panda, panda.
I'm not a fan, and I don't get it. Although, I must admit, whoever produces their tracks are very talented. I truly believe without dope beats, they would not have much of an audience. Perhaps we should revert to the earlier 2000s where instrumentals were a thing and provoked some creativity. Just saying. It's almost as if the media prefers that we look up to artists that don't force thoughts of ambitions, but instead force thoughts of ignorance and complacency as individuals. As if to imply that the audiences of hip hop should not strive to anything better than what they expect of them. Drug dealers, thugs, thieves, McDonald's associates. Not to knock anyone that works at McDonald's, but why else do you think the minimum wage has been increased? It's to ensure that people in these fields remain in them and lower their ambitions to become something more, something that exceeds their potential. Less educated people means less questions asked, more compliance, and easily manipulated Stepford wives. But then again, with this idea, I would be considered a conspiracy theorist, right? On the other hand, those who create another identity of themselves, other than what society expects of them, those who actually complete their degrees, are left with debt and a job title that has no bearing on the degree they hold. Way to motivate, America. I appreciate that hip hop has now become socially acceptable. The media incorporates it either in their TV shows, commercials, even the news. We've come a long way, hip hop, but we've still got a ways to go. Let's start small, making false idols. Better yet, let's mold our youth to idolize those who enlighten and elevate, not idolize those who wish to eliminate positive ideas and reward ignorance with ridiculous repetitive chants like Minnesota or Panda that resemble some odd practice of brainwashing. Please believe, I'm not one to knock the hustle. But if the hustle is at the expense of my youth, my America, my future, then that is when I must use my voice. As should you, if you agree and wish to be more, be better than what they expect. That piece was written 8 years ago, and honestly, not much has changed. The question still stands. Are we being molded or are we being folded? And who's really pulling the strings on what we value, what we listen to, what we believe we can become? Listen, I'm not here to tell you what to like, but I am here to remind you that your mind is worth protecting. If you're nodding your head right now, then maybe you hear the same echo I do. If something you heard today resonated with you, say something, share it, speak on it. Echoes only matter if we allow them to ripple. Until next time, this is Dee, unfiltered, unheard, and unapologetically awake.